everybody, this is Chris Michaels coming at you from the Crow's Nest Upper Murray Dance Studio in Sydney, Australia. Welcome to another Facebook video. I thought I'd mix it up a little bit today. Instead of going through our posture and our motion, I thought we'll get a little bit of exercise done and maybe go through the basics of hustle. Now this is one of my favorite dances, very popular. First dance to bring back touch dancing back in the 70s with the Saturday Night Fever and the famous song, Do the Hustle. So today what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through 4 major concepts of hustle. The important thing about hustle, as we said in the last video, was maintaining our balance and our core balance, specifically between me and a partner. Now, because hustle's a rotational dance, and in most cases it involves 2 people pulling away from each other, one of the main things that happens is that we end up with a bit of a tuggy hustle. So today what I'm going to do is we're going to work on the basic footwork, and we're going to go through 4 simple concepts, progressing from very simple to fairly advanced. Progress as you like. If you find that you get to a point where you feel comfortable, continue practicing this. This is a great thing that you can do at home in a very small space. If you have a partner with you, you can dance this as well. I'll go through both the male and female parts, but it's basically the footwork to allow you to do this dance without the use of your partner's support. And this way we can get a more smoother and fluid hustle while we're out there dancing and focus more about our styling and our fancy step patterns. So let's get on to our first basic movement. Okay, so the first thing that we need to do is obviously learn our very first pattern. If you haven't done the hustle before, this is going to be a little bit of fun. You can do this progressively with speed to make it easy, just with this very simple pattern without having to go into more advanced timing. This is our basic time step. We're not going to do any rotations for the most part of this session. Today is going to be basically doing it on the spot, which you can do by yourself and actually work on the footwork a little bit better. So we're going to go both male and female, so we're going to start with the males first. Now the idea behind this is that this is called the tap basic or the tap time step. Now what this is going to involve is getting us used to moving without transferring our weight backwards. And that's usually where it happens. The very simple hustle step is very much like a single swing, and the rock step usually is where most people tend to fall apart. What we want to do is learn how to do that rock step without moving too far away from our partner. So guys, left foot is to the side. Now, when we're ready to start hustle, all we have to do is point our toe to the side, and that's going to be our first count. So that's going to be our 1. And then the second step that we're going to do, because we're not going to rotate this, is just going to be a very simple rocking action forward, replacing our weight back to the right foot, tapping again. And so all I'm going to be doing as I hold my partner, and this is usually danced with a double hand hold in a very loose, relaxed position while my partner's facing me. So again, I'm starting here, and I'm going to be using my point as my first count, my forward step as a rocking action to go backwards, very similar to your forward step in cha-cha, and then a point again. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to count this in 4 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you want to, that point can start again at 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Okay, very simple action. Now as it starts to speed up, you'll find that as I rock back, I've got to control my balance. So from the side, as I point, 1, 2, 3, I don't want to keep going backwards here. And so what this is teaching us is how to stop our momentum on the back step of the right foot. So again, 1, 2, 3, you can see me leaning a little bit further forward here. And this is where we were talking about our poise and our posture last time with our balance, is that I don't want to be back here because I'm going to then have to yank my partner to bring myself back forward again. So just keep that in mind, is that the main thing that we're trying to do here is try to stop before our rock step, which at this moment is just a tap. So we have again, a tap, rock, step, tap, you can see me forward here, rock, step, tap, rock, step, and tap. Now ladies, ours is exact mirror image. We're going to be using our right foot, and we're going to be doing the exact same thing. So when the man does his tap, normally the girl doesn't know he's going to do the tap, so she's going to be waiting here with her right foot. And when he taps, she'll start on the second step. But to make this easy, we're also going to do the tap because we're starting by ourselves. So again, ladies, right foot, we have our tap, we rock forward, and then we transfer our weight back to the left foot, and then tap again with the right. And so again, I've got my 4 counts. I've got my 1, 2, 3, 4. And if I want to count it consistently, I'll count it in 3, so the tap is always the 1 count. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and 1. And again, from the side, you'll find that again, what I'm trying to do is stop my weight from going too far back on that left foot after I rock forward to make sure that I can tap without having to take too much weight backwards. So I'll be standing here and I'll be doing my 1, 2, 3, and as I tap, I'm leaning forward so I don't get my weight too far back over my foot. Now I look straight, but believe me, I have to pull myself to come forward again. So again, tap, 2, 3, tap, 2, 3, tap, 2, 3, and 1, and I'll finish at that point. Okay, so that's the first part of our basics. All it is a tap time step. We're not going anywhere. Our counts are all even. We're not syncopating anything at this point. So one more time, just to round up the man's part, starting with his left foot, double hand hold with the lady. I'm going to point to the side. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and 1. And on the side action, point, 2, 3, point, 2, 3, point. Ladies, right foot to the side, point, 2, 3, point, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. And from here, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and 1. So that is stage 1. Put on some hustle music, some 1970s, 80s, and disco music, and practice that, and we'll get into stage 2 right now. All right, I hope that went well, and that was pretty easy to do. Stage 2 is we're going to transfer that pointing step to a rocking step. Now that rocking step is still going to be a normal count. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to transfer the basic movement that we had. We will still start with the point. So this is one of the important things with hustle, no matter how advanced you get. It's actually the best way of starting hustle, regardless of your standard, to always start with that point because it's the most simplest way of starting. But what we're going to do is, on that point step again, we're actually going to transfer that to a back rock with the left foot. So very similar, guys. This is the way we would do our swing. So I'm going to start here with my double hand hold. I'm going to point to the side of my left foot. Point, 2, 3, and now instead of pointing again, I'm going to rock back. Now the important thing here is that when I rock back, I want to be in the same position that I was when I pointed. So again, I don't want to rock back and take all my weight to the side. So again, if I go back to my point, 2, 3, point, that's when my rock back will go. I do not want to move back on this. So again, if you find that introducing the rock actually makes you move backwards, transfer back to the tap again. And then you progress with the tap until you feel comfortable that your weight is inclined forward, and then the rock step will become part of that tapping action without people actually knowing that I rocked, okay? So again, it's a fairly large step, but I'm not putting any weight backwards on that step there. And that step is going to become smaller and smaller because we're going to get into the more advanced stage 4 section later on. So again, guys, basic, on that first tap step, tap, 2, 3. I'm going to now transfer that to a rock, rock and forward, rock and forward. So again, let's go through that one more time. We're starting with the point to start with. Point, rock, step. Now that's our time step. Rock, step, time step. Rock, step, time step. Rock, step, time step. Rock, step, time step, and finish. Now from the side, same thing. We're going to start with the point, rock, step. I'm rocking back, not taking any weight backwards on that foot. Time step, rock step, time step, rock step, time step, rock step, time step, and point. Okay? Ladies, the exact opposite again. So again, we're sitting here, pointing, doing our rock forward, and this is where our point would be. We're going to transfer that to a rock step. Again, keeping my weight forward. I've got my time step here. Then I've got my rock back. Then my time step. And then my rock back. So again, if we do this in the beginning, tap, time step, rock step, time step, rock step, time step, rock step, and point. And from the side, and 1, 2, 3, rock, time, rock, time, rock, time, rock, time, and point. Okay, so again, if you found that first set was easy with the points, you can now go into the rocking action, which is just a single basic single count hustle, swing hustle, rope hustle, all the different versions of hustle that are out there are all basically depending on how I use my rock step and my timing. So again, you find it comfortable just to tap, makes it much easier for me to keep my weight. That's just like doing simple swing. If I want to do the other one, just means that I'm putting more energy into it, I'm moving a little bit faster. Now the next step that's going to happen after this will be us syncopating that rock step, and then once we syncopate it, we're going to work on a technique that will allow us to syncopate it much easier by eliminating the rock step and having more of a drawing action, which becomes a lot smoother for your hustle. So again, try that to music, see how you go, and we'll come back straight away with the next set. Okay, stage 3, but before we get there, I thought what I'd do very quickly is just demonstrate a very simple version of this, the first 2 versions of the hustle that we did with slight rotation. Now don't try this, but it just gives you an idea of how I transfer from one basic to the next basic as far as time is concerned while I'm dancing the hustle. Now like I said before, the basic hustle is rotational. You can just do this in a very small space. I can do this in a very small square and do all of my advanced patterns before I do more of the advanced traveling basics later on. But again, that's usually reserved for more open dance floors, competitions and such. When you're dancing the hustle socially, you're usually dancing when everyone wants to get on the floor because the music is so good. So again, I'll just do the basic tap step, but what I'll do is I'll show you how the basic tap step actually looks while I'm rotating. And that's a very simple rotation that I'm doing here. As you get better, your rotation will become half turns, which means that I'll turn halfway every time I take that step. And you can see why it's important for me to stop, because I'm taking so much weight backwards on that right foot. And again, if I do the tap basic with converting it into a rocking action, what you'll find is I'm still doing that basic step, but now my rock step is going backwards without me trying to take any weight back. Okay, so again, if I do this sideways, you'll find that I'm stopping here before I rock back. Okay, so you don't want to be going, okay, because that's where you haven't yanked your partner. Your partner's going to be doing the exact same thing. Right? And ladies, it's the same thing. The man, as the man taps and turns sideways, he puts his foot right foot behind. You don't have to worry about that yet, again, but if you're doing the basic hustle and you know how to do the hustle, you know what I'm talking about. Again, with the taps. Ladies, we're just walking. So our main thing here is when we tap, we take a forward side step and we tap again. So ours is a fairly simple basic because we're rotating into the man rotates around us. And the same thing, if I do the rock step, it's just 2 steps forward, side step, and a rock step. And again, if I do this, and we'll go through an exercise that you can practice this at home to actually get your footwork correctly for rotation basics, which is a good aid just to practice. It just gets your feet used to what they're supposed to be doing correctly. And this is a practice thing that you can do by yourself without the aid of your teacher. So again, as a lady, I'm rocking with my points, and I transfer that point to a rock step and single counts. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so how do we transfer that basic now to our hustle rhythm, our proper hustle rhythm, and that is syncopating our rock step. So all that we do when we syncopate the rock step, this is going to go back to the tap timing now, so everything will be in freeze. So again, I'm still going to start with my tap, still going to do my time step, my rock step, but what my rock step's going to do is it's going to syncopate. Now you can see how important it is for me not to put any weight backwards on that right foot because it's so fast. So what your timing is going to be here, and again, you can do this very slowly. I'm starting with my point, doing my time step. When I rock back, I do and 1, and 1. So what I'm doing here now is I'm going tap, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, and 1. And what this allows me to do is just keep my body weight forward. So again, go in those stages. First stage is the tap. Teaches me to stop on my right foot. Second stage is do a single rock step. And can I do that single rock step while I still maintain forward? Then from that single rock step, can I do my syncopated rock without going too far back? Okay, so again, let's go through that basic timing. So we're going to start with a tap. We do our time step on the spot and syncopate our rock back. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, and 1. So again, my rock step is syncopated. Everything else is normal. Start with stage 1. I go to stage 2 with the rock. Stage 3 is syncopating that timing, and that'll be my basic hustle from now on until I finish dancing my hustle, whenever that may be. Maybe when I'm 80. No, I'll still be doing it when I'm 80. Ladies, opposite side, exactly the same thing. We point with the right, time step forward, single rock step, and we syncopate that, and 1. So we have point, time step, rock back, syncopate, time step, syncopate. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 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 1. And again, watch the end. Don't want any weight going back on that end. Sideways. Tapping sideways. Time step. Going to rock back. Keeping my weight forward when I rock. Time step. Syncopate. And again, from the point, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, and 1. And once you start dancing it, it'll just be going around in a circle. But don't try that. Not yet. Give that a go. See how you go with that. We'll be back with the final part, which is our rotational basic footwork. Okay, so if you managed to make it up to this stage and you're feeling comfortable with the tap basic, you're feeling comfortable with the 4-step rock basic, and you're feeling comfortable with the syncopated basic, what you can do is you can slowly transition that into these basic exercises. It's the grapevine for the male and the box for the female. Now what this is not designed to be danced with a partner because we're doing completely opposite things. What this is designed to do is transfer that rocking step to make a smoother action. So what basically that means is that if I do my basic and I'm syncopating my rock back, on rotational movements, that rock back can become fairly stagnant, which means I have to put the brake on, and I have to put the brake on, but I need to know what I'm doing. What this exercise allows you to do is take a smaller rock step to allow myself to already proceed forward. So rather than rocking step to stop my weight from going backwards, I take a smaller step to progress forward. Now you need to know that that's even harder because I really have to make sure I've stopped on that right foot so I can actually move forward onto that basic. So again, what it looks like is I replace that rock step from an actual basic rock step to a together action which brings me forward. And as you can see, I'm traveling forward now. And this allows me to move more in a forward direction towards my partner as opposed to an opposing direction. So we do these in a very simple exercise. So for the guys, it's a grapevine basic. Now again, do this if you're feeling comfortable with all the rest of the timing. So this is more for advanced students that want to work now more on their advanced styling in their hustle. So not necessarily for beginners. Beginners, I'd focus on stage 1 and stage 2, okay? So what we're doing is we're doing our basic actions with our rock steps, but we're gonna do a grapevine instead. Now what I want you to do is, I want you to do a basic with that syncopated, okay? And what I want you to do is, instead of rocking back, I want you to bring your feet together, and on the forward step, I want us to go across our body. So from here, I've gone across my body, okay? So again, just watch what I'm doing. I'm still doing my basic rock step. I'm gonna transfer that rock step to a together step. But instead of replacing it there, I'm gonna go across my body. So from here, tap, rock, step, and 1. Now what I'm gonna do is a grapevine. 2, 3. Now guess what my rock step's gonna do? and 1, 2, 3, and 1. So again, where I'm going with this is you getting used to transferring your rock step to a draw step, which allows me to progress forward instead of rocking backwards. Now, because this is rotational, I am going around my partner in a grapevine fashion. Forward, side, behind, together, forward, side, behind, together, forward. Now, doing it in a circle gets confusing. So by doing a grapevine, it allows me to focus on where I've got to go. Right foot's across, left foot side, right foot's behind. Get ready to bring our feet together. This is the syncopated rock step, and I progress forward. So again, guys, this is more for the advanced students, or if you want to work more on your advanced techniques. So again, I'm going to start with my basic. I'm going to go into my syncopated, and then I'm going to draw my foot together, and I'm going to bring my feet in a grapevine fashion every time I draw my foot to my right. So again, simple actions: tap, rock, change, feet together, change weight to the right. That's my syncopated. This is my basic hustle rotation. Now I'm going to do my rock back. Becomes a together forward, 2, 3, together forward. And again, what you can do, you can practice that at a very slow pace. So again, 1, 2, 3, and 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 1. And then as you get better, you might want to do more rotation. You might want to do a larger right foot forward, backwards. So again, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, and 1. Okay, so that is the guys part. Again, do this if you're feeling really comfortable with all first 3 stages. So what we're going to do now is the girls part. Now the girls part is a box step. It's a little bit more trickier because where the guy is going to go from side to side, the girl actually is going to form a box. Now this box is basically a forward action, and we're going to be going in actions of this form. So only do this if you've got enough space. You've got a coffee table in the middle of your lounge room. This is a perfect place to do it, around the coffee table. And your rock step is going to be the corner of every one of those coffee tables. And that's what I'm going to be doing. So again, for the ladies, what's going to happen is that I'm going to transfer my rock step to a together step. Now this is a forward action for us because we go straight into the males while the male rotates around us. So for us, what we want to do is we do our starting basic: tap, rock, step, and then on that rock step, I'm going to bring it together. Instead of rocking back, tap, step, 1, and forward. My second step is forward. My third step is side. And at this point, what I'm going to do is bring my right foot to my left. This is where my rock step would be. And forward. 2, 3. And forward. Forward, side, together, 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 forward. And that will be our basic syncopated box step for the ladies. Much easier than the men's, because we don't have to worry about the grapevine. Although you do rotate quite a lot, ladies, on this step, but that's a great way of practicing putting the brake on the right foot before I step forward, especially if I'm rotating. You can find that I've got to really put the brake on that left foot so I can squeeze my turn and get my hustle. Now, in most cases when I'm doing my basic hustle, as a lady, I'll be doing this from an underarm turn. So as I do this action, you'll find that it's easier for me to do a turning action rather than the rock step. And it's also a lot sexier. Okay, well, I hope you had fun with that session. I certainly did. I actually had quite a bit of exercise and I was sweating profusely. I had to go and do my makeup again. No, I didn't do any makeup, but I did have to wipe off a bit of sweat just doing that basic. So, I hope you had fun. Remember again, take it in those stages. Stage 1 is your tap time step. Stage 2 is your rock basic, single counts. Stage 3 is syncopated basic. all from that stationary basic. So no moving around circles or anything like that, or doing the time step, but in those 3 different rhythms. And then if you find that that's good and comfortable with the way that we're looking at our situation, you're gonna have plenty of time to practice before you get to those grapevines and those boxes. So I hope you had fun. Again, if you've got any comments that you'd like to shoot to me, put messages in the Facebook comments. Most of you will be directed straight to the YouTube. So again, you can leave a comment on the YouTube channel. But I hope you had fun. I hope you enjoyed it. Please, again, stay safe out there. Enjoy your time with your families or whatever the situation that you may be, whether you're in quarantine, self-quarantine, or whether you're one of these essential people that is helping our world survive. Good for you, and my hat's off to you as well. Until the next time we meet, have fun and stay safe. Cheers.